I cannot go over the exam because I have 2 international students who have not taken it. Okay, and one of them I believe is in this class. So I cannot go over the exam. Okay, unfortunately. Let's see. I will give kudos. Okay. I hate, as much as it absolutely hates me to do this. I got to give kudos to all right. Oh, this is gonna hurt. I gotta give God, hold on, I gotta brace myself because this is really gonna hurt. I gotta give kudos to Alex Bai and Dylan Ochoa for getting and even though he's not here, I gotta give him credit, Alan, for getting perfect scores on the multiple choice. Okay. And then the next 2, we have Yubin Cho with 17 and someone who has surpassed his brother yet again, the now new better of the Mattheys, Logan with 17. Okay. So keep it. The good thing is, guys, a lot of 16s and 15s. So I was really, really, really happy. Oh, Alan. Oh, how are you? Okay. So just want to say, guys, good job, Kim. You guys did a very, very good job. Alan, I'm very proud of you. You got a perfect score on the multiple choice.
Well, I didn't expect that.
I know, which makes me think you cheated. So, all right, now let's.
What?
You guys know this. I'm an ass. Come on. Do you expect any differently than me? Gary's had me for 2 years. See, he didn't even flinch. He's like, yeah, he is. Yeah. So, all right. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, so I was at a debate. I was at a crossroads of what we should start working on with first, okay? Should we start working with methods and creating our own methods, or should we start working with arrays? And I think what I want to do is we're going to go into a brief introduction into arrays first, okay? So what I want everybody to do is, now here's the thing, you can name your project and you can name your class, or you can name it arrays. Gary, who is there? Oh, is that Caitlin?
Yeah, she's being annoying.
So, hi Caitlin, how are you?
Good.
How's everything going?
Good.
That's good. So what do you do? What are you doing spying on your brother?
Nothing.
Yeah, get out. Close my door on the way out.
Caitlin, does he have a girlfriend still?
She left.
Okay, all right. She would have told us the truth. All right. So, all right. So what? Okay. So what I need everybody to do is you're going to make a new project in a new class called ARRAYS. ARRAYS. However, do not title it arrays, okay? Because it is actually or with a capital A, because arrays actually exist. So if you create an arrays class or project, you're gonna overwrite the original arrays. Let me see what chapter this is on, so I know which homework to give you guys. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we're gonna go over arrays, characters, and then we're gonna go over the methods. Okay, I think that's probably our best. Arrays, yeah, okay. Your next test isn't gonna be, yeah, we're gonna do, okay. So your next test, probably, let me take a look real quick. I would say your next test is probably going to be, what's today? Because we don't have school Monday And then we don't have school Monday again. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Your next test is probably going to be November 29th or October 29th. Okay. All right. So, okay. So let's get started with arrays. Okay. Pull this up. By the way, do you guys think the test was as hard or no? Or is decent?
You had to like pay attention, but it was fine.
What do you think of my? What do you think of my first 10 multiple choice?
They were pretty consistent with the AP stuff.
How many of you thought the AP questions were actually easier? Okay, this is why I do this. I over prepare you. I could give 2 craps about a terribly worded test. I want you to be good programmers. With the exception of Dylan, I think all of you have that capability. All right. Ian is up there too. All right. So now here we.
Mr. Martinez.
What's that?
You're just too mean.
I'm just too mean. Did you say that, Alan? You're still lucky I'm not in China. All right. So, all right, here we go. Let's start with arrays. Okay, by the way, also just giving you guys a heads up. You guys know me, I grade as fast as I can. I'm assuming I will probably have everything graded by, let's say, hopefully Saturday. Okay, I'll try to get it Friday, but if you're not, expect it by Saturday or the weekend. Okay. Also remember, don't email me. I'm a teacher. I know that, but I also have a weekend. I got to go to the club. Okay. I have weekends also. All right. Thank you. Okay. That being said, let's start with arrays. Okay. Now arrays, whenever you hear the word arrays, okay, basically what you got to look at is it's like a list. Okay. It's basically a list of variables. So for example, let's say that just assuming that you don't know what arrays are, okay? And I asked you to create an array, okay? I asked you to create an array, I'm sorry, I take it back. I asked you to create 10 variables, okay? Lance, assuming we don't know what arrays are, what would you probably do?
Make 10 variables.
10 actual variable lines, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so instead of doing that, what we're actually going to do is we're going to create something called an array. An array is basically just a list of variables that are all of the same type, okay? Now, unlike there's other, like for example, Python, Swift, you can make lists of different types of variables. C++, Java, it's all or nothing. You cannot have different types, okay? So the first way that we do it, okay? The very first thing that you want to do is you want to create the array type. You say what type of array it is going to be, okay? Now, you guys have seen this symbol before. Where have we seen this?
In creating the main public static void.
Inside the parameters of the main method, right here. This tells the computer, guess what? I am going to create a list. Now you have to give your list a name, okay? I'm just gonna call mine for right now, just keep it short, A, okay? Int x ARR, I like better, okay? Int array equals. Now, with an array is similar to like a for loop. It's got a predetermined outcome. You know how many it's gonna have. So what we have to do is we have to add what's called a constructor, which you go, where have you heard the word constructor before? Which object?
Scanner.
Scanner. Very good, Gary. Okay. So what we have to do is we add a scanner. And what we're going to say is we're going to say new int. And inside the brackets, we are going to say how many variables we have. Okay. Now, technically what we have done is we have done 2 sets of declarations. Okay. We have declared int array to be, or int or ARR to be an integer array. And then when you hear the word array, think list. It is a list of variables. Think list, okay? And then what we have said is this list is going to be 10 variables long, okay? Now, so that is the first way that we can do this, okay? Now let's talk about initialization of the arrays. When I create 10 variables, okay, when I create 10 variables, I have to be able to access them. I have to be able to give them values. Technically, there is nothing in these yet. So I have to initialize now these variables. And the old school way that you can do it is like this, okay? This is a lot like string methods. ARR, open parentheses, okay? Indices use, or arrays use index values. What would be my lowest index value? 0. What would be my highest index value?
9.
9. Bingo. So what I do is if I ever want to call on an individual, what we call element of an array, is we use the index value of it. So if I say, so right now I would say ARR equal 0 equals 5. ARR index 7 equals 6. So all of this, we could go 0, 1, 2, 3, et cetera, and this fills in every array with a value, okay? Now there's a second way that we could do this, okay? The second way is what we would call on the fly. That's what I like to call it. It's on the fly. Let's say that we have 4 numbers. I just had 4 numbers that I wanted you to store in an array. Int array ARRB equals, now this is called on the fly. 54, 26, 96, and 108. Okay. All right. This is what we would call on the fly programming. So if I wanted to print out the 26 in there, ARRB index 1. And this would print out 26. By default, what this has done is this has given this an index value of 0. This has given this an index value of 1. This has given this an index value of 2. And this has given you an index value of 3. Okay. Now, the last one that you should know how to do, because believe it or not, I've seen programmers program this way, but it's not the best way. And you will never see me do it. Okay. Because it's kind of like a combination. It's in a way redundant. It's a combination of adding the on the fly with the constructor. So I say int ARRC equals new int open arrays. Oops. Where's my, there we go. Open curly braces 7654. What am I doing? What is, sorry about that. No, okay, there we go. Okay, this is the third way that we can do it, okay? You will not see this way often, okay? All right. Now, we also have something called physical and logical sizes, okay? Physical and logical sizes, all right? So physical size is basically the amount of variables that you can use, okay? So in this one, in this array, what is the physical size?
10.
What is the physical size here?
108.
4.
4. And what is the physical size here?
4.
4.
4. Okay. Now, we also have something called the logical size. Okay. The logical size is basically of the physical size, how many elements are we actually using? So in this array here, what's our physical size?
10.
And what's our logical size?
2.
Bingo. What's our physical size here?
4.
Four.
What's our logical size?
4.
Physical size?
4.
Logical size.
4.
Bingo. So now arrays have one, it's not what we consider a method. Okay. Arrays have what we call a property. Okay. And that property that is used often in this class is the length property. Okay. Now the length property, you simply just add length to it. Dot length to the end of any array. So if I print this now, it is 4. Now, Henry, what is different about this dot length as opposed to, let's say, a string length? What do you notice?
Well, I mean, it's using the array, but other than that, I don't know.
Greek Thunder.
There's no parentheses after it.
There's no parentheses, Henry. Okay.
Right.
Now, okay, so I'm going to be strict. I'm going to let you know right now. Okay, it's actually in the AP, so I'm not going to lie to you guys about this. Okay. If you make a mistake and accidentally put this on the AP exam, you will not get penalized because I understand that you're under a stressful situation. However, my exams are not the AP exam. Guess what I will be doing? Say it out loud, Lance.
We don't get
Take points
penalized.
off.
Penalizing. I will be taking points off. Absolutely. And again, the reason why, let me repeat it again. I don't care about a test. Okay. I want you to be a good programmer. I have a student right now at WashU in St. Louis, one of the best universities in the country. She got a 2 on the AP exam because it was terribly worded. She had my class. She currently has the highest grade in her intro to Java class. Why? Because she was prepared and she didn't have to answer a stupidly worded test. Okay? So don't let that stupid exam define who you are. I'm creating programmers with the exception of Lance. Okay, so now, most of the time, Lance, you know it's nothing but love. So, all right. So most of the time, I'm just going to get rid of this. Bingo, bye. All right. And for now, again, you can, let's say there's only 4 or 5 numbers, you absolutely can use this. Okay, the on the fly method. But for right now, I'm going to get rid of this. Okay. But remember the on the fly method again. Now, in this instance, I could go ARR0, ARR1. But Alex, if I wanted to quickly initialize all of these variables, what would probably be the best thing to use that we just learned?
Maybe like a loop or something.
A loop, bingo. And in most, now again, when you're initializing an array, you are not using while loops. You are not using while loops. Get that out of your head. I see that, boom, I'm not even gonna look at it. It's instantly wrong, okay? What we use is a for loop. So what I'm gonna do for, at least for right now, what I'm gonna do is I am going to print 10 random numbers and I'm gonna store them in this array. For int j equals 0. J is less than, what am I gonna use? What are the two, Gary, so Gary, this is for you. Gary, give me the 2 possible answers I could use that would be technically correct.
10 and 9.
No. You got 10. Yubin, what's the other one that you could use? Yubin.
The ARR.length.
ARR.length. Now, technically are both correct. Technically, could the size of the array change? So which one would I probably want you lean more to do, Dylan? Which one probably?
Probably the ARR.length.
Absolutely. Just because if I have to change the array size, guess what? Now I got to go and change it in 2 places. So we're going to say ARR.length, okay? And we're going to say J plus plus. Again, J is our friend, okay? J, greatest letter in the world, okay? We all know this, all right? So what I'm going to do now is this. I am going to say ARR index J. What is J currently at the first loop?
0.
0, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say ARRJ equals int math dot random times, we'll do 100, okay, plus 1. So what this will do is this will just give me a random number from 1 to 100, okay?
Doesn't the int have to be in parentheses?
What's up?
Doesn't the int have to be in parentheses?
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Python took over. Okay. So int math.random. Okay. So now what's happening, basically, we're not going to see anything, but we have just filled this array with 10 random numbers. I'm going to then print out J plus and a space. Okay. So this is now print J plus space. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Oh, whoops. Array index J. Sorry. We want to print out what's in each index. 53, 80, 36, 51, 89, 90, 41, 18, 72, 64. Okay. Run it again. 50, 18, 13, 64, 24, 11, 20, 58, 10, 72. All right. Run it again. I'm going to get different numbers every single time. All right. So this is how we store items in an array list. Okay. Now, right. How much time do we have left?
We still have 15 minutes.
Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. So what I'm going to give you guys right now is I'm going to give you guys a question. All right. So what I want you to do is this. We're going to keep this array up. Okay. I'm going to use the greatest full name in the world. Okay. What name would that be, Greek Thunder?
Greek Thunder.
No, not. That would be the second greatest name. What's the first greatest name?
I don't know.
Logan? Come on, brah.
Javi Martinez.
Atta boy. All right. So what I want, stop shaking your head, Lance. All right. So, God, I wish this class was in person. All right. Okay. So string name equals Javi Martinez. What I want you guys to do now is this. Okay. I want you to create an array that is the exact size of my name. And then I want you to store a single character. So that would include the space in the array. Everyone occupies an array index, okay? Do that right now. Hey, Siri, set timer for 3 minutes.
Okay, 3 minutes and counting.
Wait, so do we or do we not include the space?
What did I just say? Who asked that?
Me, Gary, but like I kind of forgot. I kind of missed that part.
Every character that includes a space
Okay, got it.
gets stored. All right, time is done. Okay, so let's go over this. All right, the first thing that I want to do is this. This is the first thing. I'm going to create the array. So what type of array? There's two types of arrays that we can make. What are the two types, Alex?
Could you make a string array?
I could make a string array, or what other one could I also make?
Could you make a character array?
I could absolutely make a character array, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover both right now, okay? Now, as I told you, you can make an array out of anything. Int, double, float, long, short. Ian, what are those all examples of? What type of?
Primitive variables.
Bingo, but string, Ian, is a what?
Object.
Bingo. So keep that in mind. Strings are objects, primitives. I'm making arrays of either, okay? So I'm gonna say string x equals, oops, sorry. Oh, also want to give you guys a heads up. This is usually a preference. I just do this by nature. If you ever see this, this is legal also. It's basically like a use a string x array. I like to say string array x. The one thing it can't be is it can't be here. Okay, this is a no-no. It cannot be on the other. You always declare the type first. So I'm going to say string x array equals new string, and this is where the outside of the box thinking comes in. How long do I need this array to be? Name.length. Boom. How many of you got that? The reason why? This needs to be, I can't have a double in here. I can't have a half of an array. So this is an integer. What does .length spit back? An integer, which means I will never exceed the use of letters, or I'll never have an overflow of letters. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to basically create another array. I'm going to say car y array equals new car, and same thing, name.length. Okay, so I have two arrays now. I have a string array and I have a character array. Okay, and the character array and then the string array, they're both the same size. Which one probably uses up more memory, Uma? If you had to guess.
Would it be the string?
Absolutely, because the string is capable of being on the fly and holding one.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a for loop. For int j equals 0, j is less than name.length. Or, oh, I could use name.length, but in this, could I use name.length? Will that work? In this instance, I could use any array, but since they're both the same size, I'm just going to do name.length, okay? And then j plus plus. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start filling them in. X index j is equal to, and in this instance, I want to say name.substring j to j plus 1. And in y index j, I'm going to say that this is equal to name.character at j. Both do the same thing, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to print out on both lines. I'm going to print x index j plus a space. And on this one, y index j plus space. Oops, I always do that. Sorry. Oops. Where is it? Okay. So, you guys see what happened? JJ, AA, BB, YY, space, space, MM, AA, RR, TT, II, and NEE, ZZ. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Okay, or take a look what happens if I do this. Just add an LN, I make myself a little pyramid. Okay. Actually, oh. Woo, JA, yeah. All right, so that is basically the fundamental like things that I need you guys to have with arrays. You need to kind of have that out of the box thinking down, okay? Now, we are gonna, so right now in your homework, okay? So I do not, you are not gonna be using the split method, okay? We are not using split. So in chapter 18, okay, I believe it's chapter 18, you are not going to do the splits, okay? You should know up to, I would read 18. I would read up to 18.3 and stop at passing an array to a method. Okay, 18.1 to 18.3. And then that's it, yeah. Okay, so, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you guys a program that I want. So I'm gonna have you guys read 18, 18.3, understand the errors. You will have a quiz. You need to know the difference between a index out of bounds error and array index out of bounds error, okay, and when it happens, exception error, okay? Any questions? Perfect, I'm gonna put this online right now. Again, let me repeat this, 18.1 to 18.3, read it, have a concept of what parallel arrays are, how to do arrays and calculations, the warnings, and then, but stop at passing an array to a method. Sound good? All right, guys, good job. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna put it on Portal right now.